7, 6, 11, 5, 9 and 20 miles today, 4, 11, 17, 32 the day before. Boot, 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 moving up and down again. There's no discharge in the war. Don't look at what's in front of you. Boot, 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 moving up and down again. Men go mad with watching them. There's no discharge in the war. Try to think of something different. Oh, my God, keep from going lunatic.
Okay, let's talk about boats and immigrants. What you just watched there is the narrative that's been pushed to me for the past year. And if I did my job right, you probably think our country's been invaded. And that's kind of the point. It's so much easier to build a narrative around pessimism because the stories and headlines are more fresh and recent. I feel like I'm in quite a unique position to talk about this because the majority of creators that do have usually built their careers off it. So by about 30 seconds into the video, you can usually feel that they have a slight bias in what they're saying because a lot of them literally get paid to push a certain narrative to their audience. It's quite manipulative, actually. What they do is they take local concerns and exaggerate it like it's a global problem through the use of the internet. They're playing on your emotions. I know this because in preparation for this video, I've spent the past few months intentionally just letting the media fully consume me, and I can understand why people are angry. It's like a mixture of everything, innit? A hotel gets filled with unvetted migrants right near your house. Then you go on social media to see that the boats just keep coming in like the channel's a fucking lazy river for the third world. But this is where they get us, alright? What happens is the algorithms now notice that you took an interest in all this. And if you spend a lot of your time on social media, especially fucking X, what happens is you now start seeing loads of videos from people that are showing the same thing as what you've been seeing, with a caption along the lines of, what's happened to the UK? So in your head now, this has become a national concern because the posts will have thousands of likes as well. So it must be a problem. See, I don't want to speak for everyone, but I think what sent most people over the edge, me included, was what seems to be a sudden rise in sexual assaults committed by asylum seekers. But what I began to notice after doing some research into this entire thing is the media tend to amplify it when an asylum seeker does it, sparking understandable outrage. Of course people are going to be pissed off. I'm pissed off. But regardless of where you're from, it still shouldn't be happening, should it? You don't get more respect for sexually assaulting women just because you're British. Either way, it's wrong. Do you get what I'm saying? The first thing I did was look into the actual statistics to try and find the truth amongst the bullshit. And I'm hoping that can help people direct their anger to the right place. So we're getting told it's an invasion, right? We're getting invaded. I get the boats is just a small aspect of the invasion argument, but they talk about it a lot. And to be fair, it's what most people are concerned about, innit? That's what they want stopped. You see and hear them everywhere, don't you? Yeah, stop the boats, close the borders. All right, just take a breath. So far this year, give or take a couple of hundred, it's always changing, but it was published that 7,380 people have arrived on small boats. To put that into perspective for you, in the whole of 2025, 41,500 people arrived, and 76% of those people were men. Now, people will have their own beliefs to why that is. You have the ones that think it's deliberate and they're importing all these fighting age men to take over our country, which I think's a bit of a stretch. How can 0.06% of a population take over a country, especially when these are the men that's coming in?
Way above the clouds, that's my plane. Working, mad, that's my name. Things I understand, that's my pain. Jan up the set, yo, that's my game. Me and them, yo, we're not the same. Mountain baby, I can't be tamed. Lifestyle mentor, riding ways, I'll Rooney up them bars that rain. I come to
They're having a fucking party on a rubber dinghy in the middle of the English Channel like they're not a wave away from death. I think we'll be alright. You probably notice the amount of people that are on it as well. I found out that the average number of people per boat went from 7 in 2018 to 64 in 2026. 64 people on a single dinghy. What if they need like a shit or something? What would they do? Just point their ass overboard and just hope they don't hit a wave so it bounces back into the dinghy? Oh god, imagine. I'd jump off myself if someone took a shit on board. Whilst you sat down, cramped together with 63 other people. Oh, some will have seasickness as well. Not only do we have to vet these fuckers properly, but they need a full decontamination. Fuck knows what diseases they're bringing in just from the boat journey alone. I think what creates more panic though, it's not necessarily the amount of people that's coming in, it's the way in which they have. Because if we saw him all landing in Manchester Airport, walking off a fucking Jet2 holidays flight, it wouldn't be as bad. But you know, because of the way asylum seekers have already been labelled by the media, we hear the word illegal, see the videos of all the boats coming in, along with all the crimes that they're committing. It just makes us more pissed off. And if you're like me, you've probably said at some point, why don't they just go out to where they're coming from and just turn the boats back? Why are they even letting them reach the land? Well, it turns out it's because they have to. I'm not going to explain too much about it because it's boring, but there's basically laws about where the UK legally has to rescue anyone that's found in distress at sea. I wouldn't call this distress though, would you?
And that's my pain, jam up the set, yo, that's my game.
But I didn't know this about all the laws and shit. I was one of them people that saw the size of the ships the UK Navy has and says, hang about, how the fuck are the rubber dinghies getting by them? But it turns out, once they're at sea, they don't have to get by anything, because the only thing stopping them really is the weather, and you can't put laws on the weather. So for those that are lucky enough to actually make it to shore, law says that they have to be physically standing in UK soil to claim asylum, and 95% of them do, with 62% of them actually getting it. So if you have got like a serious problem with the boats, get yourself to the beaches and just wait for them to come in and then just swim out and just push them back. Imagine that. It'd be like British Bulldog on the coast. Just loads of immigrants trying to step here to try and get to the sand. Nah, but in all seriousness, when you actually look at the bigger picture, it all stems down to the government consistently fucking up, just making decisions that make no sense, and I feel like we're kind of getting distracted. Don't let a specific crime committed by someone in a specific race or religion make you think that's how they all are. It's not that all migrants are criminals, because they're not. It's the government failing to vet them properly so we know for sure they're not dirty bastards before actually letting them in. Even some of the blokes you see in the video we watched of them all dancing, you look at some of them and think, oh, not sure about you. There's dirty fuckers in all parts of the world. Jimmy Savile was one of the worst paedophiles. He was white. Does that mean all paedophiles are white? Do you know what I'm saying? So the government signed a 10-year contract until 2029 with 3 private companies to run these hotels. It was initially meant to cost us $4.5 billion out of our tax money, but because the government took absolutely no time out of the day to process all these applications, even though it's literally a part of the job, it caused a massive backlog, increasing the estimated cost only a little bit though to $15.3 billion. I can't even pretend that don't sting, because the majority of that money is not going to the immigrants, it's going to the billionaires. So there's literally people that are getting richer the more boats that come in, and we're fucking paying for it. Graham King is one of them. Look him up. He probably pays fuck all in tax as well, like the majority of billionaires in this country. A bit of offshore banking goes a long way in their world. So what are we left with? The government takes 200 blokes that we know nothing about and puts them in an hotel at the top of your street, legally bans them from working and gives them nothing to do. So what do you think's going to happen? 199 of them could be angels, but all it takes is one of them to fuck it up for the rest of them. I guarantee when we see the headlines of these crimes committed by the asylum seekers, I bet the people in the hotels are even thinking, oh, for fuck's sake, why? But unfortunately, because of the crimes they are committing, it just doesn't do them any favours, does it? As we have a lot of people with a large following that will pounce on this type of stuff, not because they care about the victims, but because they can manipulate it to suit the narrative. It's a tough subject to talk about, innit? Because try telling a mum whose daughter's been assaulted by an illegal immigrant that you're over-exaggerating. I don't think so. Because they're not, are they? And they have every right to stand outside these hotels and protest. Because if the government did the fucking job properly, this would not be happening, would it? But the problem with the protest now is they're starting to lose the meaning entirely. The actual message is starting to get lost amongst the hundreds of dickheads and start shouting shit because it makes them feel wanted and a part of something for the first time in their life. I think half of them don't even know what they're protesting for. They see like a video or read a tweet by Tommy Robinson or some shit, and then they take what he's saying at face value without actually fact-checking what he's saying. Who'd have thought though, right? A 43-year-old man in skinny jeans and a stone island could convince so many people that what he's doing is to save the country and protect us from this invasion. I don't want to talk too much about this guy. I'm aware a lot of people watching this are probably supporters of Tommy. I don't really give a fuck about him, to be honest. I actually find him quite insufferable, but that's beside the point. He's a guy who's really good at changing his narrative depending on current events. He kind of just says things and latches his name onto stuff and hopes that people won't look into whether it's true or not. I could literally make an entire video cross-examining everything this prick says in a single podcast, and you'll soon realise the amount of shit that comes out of his mouth. I understand that he might say some things that you agree with, but he says a lot of things. There's a protest coming up actually that he's organised called Unite the Kingdom, because that's just what Tommy does now. His goal is to unite the kingdom.
Do not sit and watch millions have the time of their life in our capital city and not be part of it. Don't have a regret. This date is going to be etched in the corridors of history for Britain.
You're not getting what's millions, you're not getting ace. Shut up. At first, it seems like what he's doing is a good thing, right? Because he's uniting everybody. But when the guy who was a part of the British National Party, a group that literally prohibited anyone who wasn't white from joining, and the whole memo was anti-Islam and pro-white, it kind of gives these protests a different meaning when you're the one that's organising it. And I feel sorry for the people that don't know this about Tommy, because the majority are probably attending because they genuinely believe his motive is to unite the kingdom. The guy was literally a part of a group that only allowed white people, meaning 18% of the UK population weren't allowed to join. So like, how do you plan on uniting the kingdom whilst forgetting about the other 18%? It doesn't add up. Tommy claims he's not racist. He says it all the time when people call him out on it on the street. He always says,
"What have I said that's racist? Tell me what I've said that's racist. Tell me what I've said. What am I doing?"
And then the person kind of freezes up and stumbles, not really knowing what to say.
What have I ever said, or what do I talk about that's got to do with racism?
A taxi? Taxi.
Little that drives a car.
But the point I'm trying to make is that even if he wasn't a willing member of an openly racist group, which by the way, that's all they have to say to answer his question, but he's built his career by consistently targeting the absolute worst individuals of an entire religion. And then he generalises that as if that's how the entire UK Muslim population of about 4 million people acts.
Did you disagree on whether you're going to use the term against Islam or radical Islam? Do you think there's a difference between the two terms?
No, the word radical was put before to make people feel comfortable. The word Islamist was created for Western politicians to feel comfortable talking about Islam. Islam is Islam, and Islam is radical.
So it comes across a bit racist, you know what I'm saying? If Tommy found out 2 different paedophiles got arrested down the exact same street as him, and one of them was a Muslim and the other was a white British guy, which one do you think he'd post all over social media? Do you get my point? So you can imagine what all the other Muslims that are just getting on with their life must be thinking when they're seeing Tommy just chat all this shit. They must be thinking, what the fuck's this guy on about? We're not all like this. And then they start seeing entire events that he's put together, held in the centre of London as well. That's just like rubbing salt in the wounds, innit? He's doing the opposite of what he claims the protest is about. Like, he's actively pissing off about 4 million people of the UK population whilst trying to unite us. Because what they do is they label everyone who's attending these protests as a racist because Tommy's the one that put it together, which then just causes even more shit because they start calling them Nazis and fascists, all because they're holding up a fucking England flag. It's just like an endless cycle of shite. I suppose it's nice to see that people are showing pride in our country, but in my opinion, it's for all the wrong reasons. These people are attending thinking it represents one thing, but they're just adding to the problem. Fuck all these people that are telling you that our country's being invaded and that we're losing our identity. Why are we? Because people don't go to church anymore? It's a tough pill to swallow, but this feeling that you've got that we're losing our identity isn't down to an invasion. It's the fact that this traditional old school way of British life where the whole town went to church on a Sunday is fading out. The culture's just shifting naturally, but people would rather blame an invasion than just admit times have changed. Muslims only make up 6% of the UK population, and 50% of them were born here. Yeah, alright, they might be popping out more kids than us, but it'll slow down, I reckon. I can't see the future generation in general giving birth as much, to be honest. I mean, have you seen kids now? They can't even talk to their own mum properly, never mind a fucking stranger. People are going to become so isolated in the future. Watching porn is going to be classed as losing your virginity. No one knows what's going to happen. All it takes is one little event to change the outcome of fucking everything. Just look at history. Anyways, knowing what we know now, we're going to be taking a look at some of these protests that have been going on. There's actually like an entire niche about protests on YouTube now. Just people that turn up to them with a little camera and tripod. Everyone's fucking vlogging now. It's good though, because without these people, we wouldn't even know what's going on. And to be honest, sometimes I wish I didn't know what's going on, because I wouldn't even say they're even protests anymore. It's like they've become an excuse for dickheads to act like dickheads. You know what I mean? Let's have a look.
You want to say a few words about your sign, like no one is illegal? Why do you believe no one is illegal?
Because we're all living on a floating rock and we should all love each other. And I think that my sign represents that with all the colours. And if you're miserable, don't put it on other people. Deal with it on your own terms and don't try to affect everybody else just because you're miserable.
If only the world worked like that, sweetheart. Unfortunately, though, living on a planet with over 8 billion people, there's a high chance not everyone's going to get along. This is what I mean by how protests have just lost their meaning. People don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Realistically, does she need to be there? Spreading bollocks that makes absolutely no sense. Nobody's illegal. Well, they are, aren't they? Imagine if the world ran based on her logic. Anyone can just turn up whenever they want, regardless if you want to blow the place up or not. But it don't matter according to her, because we're all living on the same rock. Give your head a bang, love. Saying shit like that is just as annoying as the pricks that blame immigrants for stealing our jobs. There's awful people out there. That's never not going to be a thing.
A lot of the debate right now is that people coming over the channel don't have passports. What do you have to say to that?
To be honest, I don't really have much of an opinion on it, but obviously you have to have the right identification. and everybody should have the right to live where they want to do and be where they want to do as long as they're happy.
So no one is illegal, but she believes everyone should have the right identification. Meaning, if we're going by her logic, if you are in this country without the correct identification, which a lot of people are, by definition, they are literally in this country illegally. She has no idea what she's talking about. She doesn't have an opinion on it, but she's at a protest for people with an opinion on it. All right.
You see the typical signs here. Stand up to racism, Tommy Robinson. But it looks like something's going on here with the horses that are stopping both groups colliding.
Yeah, that's not annoying, is it? Fucking arrest that guy. Whoever's making that horn noise, there's absolutely no need for that. It's not a normal thing to do. Like, who thinks to themselves, yeah, you know what? I think today I'm going to rock up to the city centre with a horn and annoy everybody. Even the people on their side must be like, all right, mate, calm down with the horn. Fucking hell, that was right in my ear, that. If you do that one more time, I'm going over to Team Tommy, all right? Tommy's probably loving this, you know? Like, they think they're standing up against him, but they're just keeping him relevant. It's just an ex-football hooligan from Luton that's still struggling to find the right size jeans. Literally just a bloke with a big mouth that says a lot of the right things that many rich people agree with.
So there's a lot of argy-bargy going on here. What's going on? Look, it's only started. And a bit of... Oh, you got pepper spray?
Let's get you to a shop.
They're already starting. They're already starting. Lady, get off. What are you doing? I'm getting man-marked by this lady here. Oh, he's got sprayed in the eyes. Oh, we need something in his eyes.
What am I watching? Everything about this video is just fucking odd, innit? This is what's going on though. People rocking up with a camera, giving live commentary to the protests. It's just fucking weird. I actually don't even know what they're doing as well. Like, what are they expecting to achieve from this? I'm curious. Because if you're allowing fucking Tommy Robinson to get you this wound up, you need to pay attention to what's actually affecting your life.
So, we'll see how... Oh, piss, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing, you fucking...
This whole thing just makes me laugh. It's so fucking stupid. I'm assuming this guy's built somewhat of a reputation for himself then. For her to do that from what appears to be over nothing. Look at the fucking state of her though. Amy Swinehouse.
What are you doing? She sprayed me. Get off. What are you doing? Huh?
Come the other side.
What's your problem? Get your fucking big belly out.
What's with the stupid daft masks they're all wearing? Like anybody's gonna give a flying fuck who you are. Do they realise they're not important? Nobody cares about you. How can you claim to stand for equality and fairness whilst literally dressed like fucking criminals?
There's a lot of argy-bargy going on. Look at this. Look at this, guys. All the pushing and shoving. The signs are going. Here we go. It's already started. The signs are gone. Oh! The signs are gone. The signs are gone.
Yeah, they're really sending a serious message to the government here. Where would our country be without people like this fighting for us on the front line? Just taking the fall for the people, you know? Because he felt that sign specifically, out of about 500 of them, needed to be taken down. These signs, by the way, I like how they've tried to slide in any phrase like we wouldn't notice. Like, why am I seeing people holding a Black Lives Matter sign up? I think they've got the wrong protest. What's Black Lives Matter got to do with this? That's not what this is, for fuck's sake. This is what I was on about earlier, about how the message gets buried amongst the shit. People like this that don't have a fucking clue what's going on and turning up like it's a race thing. It's pricks like Tommy that have caused this, you know? Look what he's fucking done.
Look at this geezer.
Back away! I've got a patient here! Back away! Only you back away!
Oh dear, what a set of fucking nuggets. Remember when I said earlier about all these protests make nobodies feel important? This is what I was getting at. So embarrassing. Can we stop? Like, it's not a good look for us. This is something Americans usually do, because they're the ones that usually have large masses of but it seems to have spread to the UK because this is unbelievably cringe. Fucking come on then, dickhead. Come on then. Go on, mate. You're making yourself look very silly.
Let's go in there. We have the Crusader. Yes, boy. Let's see. Are you on your crusade today?
Fucking right I am.
What's with the outfit? Why the outfit?
This is England. This is my England.
Ah, right. Nice one. Thanks for explaining. Yeah, you really made sure to send a message across the nation with that speech. Really made the most of his screen time with that. This is England, and this is my England. All right, buddy. Probably time to call yourself a taxi. Then again, maybe walk, because I can't see him being a fan of the taxi driver. Can you?
What's your reason for coming today?
I want our borders back. Border control.
I went to the other side. They said no one is illegal. What are your thoughts on that?
Totally rubbish. Absolute rubbish. They're coming over in boatloads. No IDs, getting put up. It's just ridiculous. The country can't sustain it for a start. That's the massive problem.
And do you think they're good people? Do you think everyone in that group is someone who wants to come here for a better life? Do you think that is the narrative?
They're coming just to take the money. If they were coming for a better life, they'd bring the families with them, wouldn't they? They're all fighting age men.
There it is. I could feel like this was the way that conversation was going. What he's done there is you see a lot of it. He's mixing good, valid points with bullshit that's been fed to him. Fighting age men, taking all of our money. All of it. Just imagine if he directed this frustration to the people that are actually taking our tax money. Remember that 15 billion quid contract regarding the hotels we was on about earlier? They're the pricks that you want to be mad at. The companies that are earning the hotels, they're getting most of the profit. A single man has literally become a billionaire from it. And you're mad at some immigrants living on 9 quid a week. That's not where most of your money's going. It'd be so much better if they all protested against sexual predators and tax-dodging billionaires, but, you know, that doesn't sell a narrative, does it? Talking about tax-dodging billionaires doesn't stick as much as,
your country's being invaded by fighting-age men. Do something before it's too late.
But in reality, the rich just keep getting rich.
Alright guys, so the police are coming in. The great unwashed are here. About 10 of them.
He's got such a beaky nose, hasn't he? Look at the size of that fucking thing. That probably doesn't help him when he pisses people off because he's easy recognisable. Oh, look, it's that guy with a massive fucking nose.
Let's see that. Oh, big smash. Here we go. Pushing them back. Here they go. Bunch of kids versus the police. A lot of pushing and shoving.
Oh, light's gone red. Make sure you stop.
A lot of pushing and shoving. Oh, these guys batting out. On the ground. No messing around.
Well, that was always going to happen, wasn't it? What the fuck did they expect to achieve from that? Now look what's happened. They're on the floor, and now there's a problem. But there don't really need to be a problem. Oh, God, can you see all the people filming them as well? This is just a lot. I'd hate to be a police officer now, you know what I mean? Having to wake up knowing that you got to deal with this shit. And you got to prepare yourself to get recorded by 150 different point of views. And then be posted all over fucking YouTube and TikTok. It's Jesus Christ. It's a different type of job nowadays, isn't it, being a police officer? You're basically a content creator now, aren't you?
Get in there! Oh, she fell over. The police are getting the fans out.
Keep coming!
Getting pushed around. Look at this guy, look at the aggression.
Oh, no, I don't think he could look any more of a twat if he tried. Like, is he aware of what he looks like? I know this is going to sound quite rich coming from me, but that's a bad haircut. It doesn't help that his hat's too small for his head as well, does it? And screaming with so much confidence like he doesn't have a ponytail.
Oh, they're all falling down. They're all falling down. Look at this, guys. The police are clearing them, making sure they all go. Obviously, there are people in shops next to me.
Ponytail just walked into a pole now. Fucking hell. Just turn around, mate. You're having a nightmare here. It's funny watching this because as they're walking, you can see that they're walking past restaurants and people are just sat down getting on with the life. Something you don't see a lot of nowadays. People getting on with the life. It used to be traffic you got stuck in. Now it's fucking protests. Even if you take a walk to shop to get some milk, you'll end up getting stuck in a fucking protest.
The police are doing a good job at holding them here. Did you get hit by the police?
Yeah, I kicked about 4 times and led me.
Whoa, 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 whoa! They're all on the ground. What kept rolling? Jimmy neck. He's doing a roly-poly. The police aren't messing about.
So they're just doing the same thing but in a different spot now. What we're not understanding here, like what are we not getting? That running towards the police, you're probably going to end up on your ass. And then when it does happen, they just start fucking crying.
About. Here they come. Oh, he's flying. He's flying. They're all flying. His head's come off. What's that?
Oh, fucking hell. It's so much worse than we all thought. So much worse. What the fuck has gone on there? I like how even the guy filming was in a state of shock when he saw it. He was just like, ah, God, look, his head's come off. He said his head's come off.
His head's come off, what's that?
That is terrible, though. It's really bad. Very brave of him, to be fair, to attend a protest, knowing that there was a possibility that the hat could come off at any time. This is the worst case scenario he could possibly be in. Ending up on his ass with a full head reveal, all whilst being captured on camera. That's going to be a tough one to come back from. But on that note, I think I'm going to call it a day there. I could spend hours reacting to this shit, but I feel like I've got my point across. I'm aware that there's so much stuff that I haven't spoke about, but that's intentional. The people this video alone is going to attract is going to be a lot in itself. So I'm not going to start talking about major world problems that I know nothing about. I'm not here to make out like I'm trying to change the world. I just thought I'd share my opinion on how I see it and present it in a way where you don't feel like you're being lectured by these self-proclaimed experts. It's easy to get distracted, like I've already said. You've got Tommy Robinson pretending to unite the kingdom whilst actively dividing it. You've got people with no clue why they're even protesting, holding up random signs, wearing daft masks, and blowing that annoying fucking horn in everyone's ear. And whilst we're all fighting each other over the government's fuck-ups, the people at the top, oh, they're loving it. They're laughing at us. They want you to be angry at the bloke in the dinghy or the person who's holding up the English flag. Because as long as we're fighting each other in city centres, you're not looking at the politicians who are actually failing you and feeding you shit, or the billionaires who are profiting the most off this entire thing. It's all just one massive fucking distraction. So the next time you see a headline, a tweet, or a video that's designed to piss you off and make you think that the country's ending, just take a step back and ask yourself, who's profiting from my anger right now? Because I promise you, it's not fucking us.
Yeah, I fucking did it. Yeah, I fucking said it. Yeah, I meant it.